Hello. So we are gonna talk about a problematic situation that many people are facing and passing through, that is poverty.
Poverty is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks the financial resource and essentials for a minimum standard of living. Poverty means that the income level from employment is so low that basic human needs can be met.
Some examples of poverty are absolute poverty, relative poverty, situational poverty, generational poverty, rural poverty, urban poverty, and absolute poverty. So, absolute poverty, also known as extreme poverty or abject poverty, it involves the scarcity of basic food, clean water, health, shelter, education, and information. Absolute poverty is usually common in developed countries. Um, Relative poverty. An example of this is that a family can be considered poor if, if it cannot afford vacations, cannot buy present for their child at Christmas, or cannot send its young to the university. Situational poverty. People can help themselves in with a small assistance, as the poverty comes because of unfortunate events. Generational poverty. It is handed over to families from one generation to the next. This is more complicated as there is no escape because the people are trapped in its cause and unable to access the tools required to get out of it. Rural poverty occurs in rural areas with a population below 50,000. It is the area where there are less job opportunities, less access to services, less support for disabilities, and quality education opportunities. And finally, urban poverty. It occurs in metropolitan areas with a population over 50,000, inadequate housing and services.
Getting more into an effect that is happening with poverty is the way people are dying in high percentages to the cause of not being able to buy medicine for their diseases. By some research made or some tests some organizations have made, they have found different percentages to this horrendous problem. They have found that from 1,000 pregnant women, 500 women and their child die because they don't have enough money for the medical attention, for the treatments they need, for the medicine they need, and more. Also, they would talk about how a big percentage around the world of poor people are suffering with big diseases, and they are all dying because they don't have enough money or they don't have money at all. Another example is how people are dying or suffering serious problems because they don't have, sometimes or almost all the times, they don't have the money to afford it. Some studies say that even 1,000 million people are affected by malnourishment. 165 million guys from 4 to 5-year old are suffering chronic malnutrition. Malnutrition is the cause of almost half of children below the age of 5, all of these below the age of 5 to die. All of this because they are not able to pay for food because of the conditions they live in.
Why is poverty happening?
Poverty is happening because of some inequalities in income distribution and access to resources, basic social services, and opportunities. Poverty is a worldwide issue, but it's most common to see in countries like South Sudan, Equatorial Guinea, Madagascar, and many other more. Children, parents, disabled people, and people who stay in households in which no one works are more likely to experience poverty than others.
Finally, why it is important to inform people about poverty and ways to solve it.
It is important to inform people about poverty because people can get some knowledge about what a big percentage of the world is suffering things such as being homeless. A lot of people don't really appreciate the opportunity they have to live somewhere with a roof or not having enough money to buy food or medicine for their own benefit. So by knowing this, people can react and treat them in a different way, in a better way, or even giving them charity things. There are organizations giving food or count for people that are poor. An example of this is in the US. They will be giving food, tents, but only to people that are trying to make a better life. This is good because there are some people that are in poorness, but they have some addictions. In El Salvador is also implementing the decreasement of the basic needing. So basically they are putting lower prices so people with not enough money they could afford like food or things they usually need. Mexico is giving more money to the minimum salary. They are giving access to health centers and they are giving gender equality. Why is important the gender equality? Because sometimes some works will go to the men. They won't see that woman also works or things like that, and that cause a lot of people with not jobs because of not thinking that man is going to be thousand times better doing the job than the other one.